Hello, welcome to the Fundamentals Machinery Design class. The topic today is the gear train. The diagram shows the internal gear structure of a mechanical watch. A series of gears of various sizes are combined together in a specific way, and the precise timing movement of the watch pointer is realized by its specific transmission mode. It is the internal structure of the gearbox in the diagram, and we can see many different types and specifications of gears. Through these gears, the motion output of the engine can be transmitted to the relevant execution components, and through these gears, the car can adjust the direction and magnitude of velocity. In the actual working process of mechanical equipment, in order to realize the transmission of motion and power, a series of meshing gears are often used to meet the working requirements. Similar to the gear structure inside the mechanical watch and automobile gearbox, this transmission system, composed of a series of gears, is called gear train. The gear train is used for motion and power transfer between the prime mover and the actuator. Because the gear transmission is accurate efficient, and the gear train can obtain a large transmission ratio, through the appropriate gear combination, a long-distance accurate transmission can be achieved, and the energy loss during the process is low. Through the combination of different gears, the requirements of variable speed and direction can be realized, and the motion can be synthesized or decomposed. According to whether the axis of each wheel is fixed during transmission, the gear train can be subdivided into fixed center train, epicyclic train, and combined train. The fixed center train is subdivided into plane fixed center train and space fixed center train. The epicyclic train is subdivided into planetary train and differential train. It is a fixed center train. When the gear train is driven, the geometric axis position of each gear is fixed on the frame. The fixed center train is mainly used for energy transfer. This is a plane fixed center train. In this gear train, the axes of each gear are fixed and parallel to each other. Because the axes of each gear are parallel to each other, the gear train structure is relatively simple, the transmission is stable, and it is easy to install and debug. By adjusting the axial movement of the gear, the transmission ratio can be adjusted. The variable speed of automobile gearbox is this principle. This is a spatial fixed center train. The axes of each gear are fixed but not parallel here. The gear train often contains bevel gear transmission, worm drive, etc., and the axis of the gear is often not parallel. Through this gear train, more functional motion transmission can be realized, the structure is relatively complex, and the installation accuracy is high. It is an epicyclic train in the figure. When the gear train is driven, the geometric axis of at least one gear can rotate around the geometric axis of another gear. This kind of gear train is called epicyclic train. The gears whose geometric axis rotates around the geometric axis of the other gear are called planetary gears, and the gears whose central axis is fixed are called sun gears. The figure shows a differential train, which is a type of epicyclic train. Differential train refers to a gear train with two or more degrees of freedom, that is, a gear train with two or more corresponding prime mover. The prime mover can be composed of gears or rods. It is composed of center wheel, planet wheel, and rod. If a stable output is obtained by this kind of gear train, the number of prime mover corresponding to the degree of freedom need to be provided. The diagram is shown as a planetary train, which is similar to the differential train. At least one gear has an unfixed axis. The difference is that the planetary train has a central gear speed of 0. The complex train composed of fixed center train and epicyclic train in mechanical transmission is called combined train. Today we learned the gear train in mechanical design. Gear train consists of a series of meshing gears for motion and energy transfer between the prime mover and the actuator. It can be subdivided into fixed center train, epicyclic train, and combined train. That's all, thank you.